We're getting close to the last remnants of summer, and I'm out here just kind of putzing around, pretending to make a video. I've been asked by a couple people to make short videos on my permaculture garden, so it's been kind of a grueling summer, but it's also been a very productive summer. On the whole, I've done a lot of establishment, planted out hundreds of plants. I've had a lot of success and a lot of failure. You really should try to start small. And I have, for the most part, taken my time. But what you're seeing now are these islands I built. I call them islands because they were dedicated spaces that I sheet mulched, added manure, straw, and planted mostly herbs, some wildflowers. Made some way too complicated polycultures, but so far they've kicked ass, so I'm not gonna complain too much. Here's some comfrey that I should have dug up last year, but whatever, it's all good. Got the Cosmary peeking through it. I've been hit up a lot lately for design work, which is really hilarious because up until recently, my gardens mostly sucked ass, but I'm just being hard on myself, but I do find it pretty hilarious that I've reached a point where people are starting to take notice. Neighbors are walking a little slower when they walk by my house. And really like this dryland area, the California fuchsia, sedum reflexum, sand cherry, goji berry. Mountain mahogany tucked in here, but the mountain mahogany got kind of hammered. I don't really know why. Just a quick look at perennial veggie garden. It's kind of in its last throes, but it's still looking all right. I think this is lance leaf. No, it's not lance leaf. What is this? It's some type of coneflower. But I got my lemon balm, oregano, some of these Siberian chives, which look really cool. They've got a nice taste. I haven't used them too much. Of course, some Nanking cherries, some doing better than others. This is a total riot of plant growth over here that I'll probably need to thin out next year, but I'm still enjoying the early stages of the permaculture system, which is mostly just an insane riot of growth. Management, managing this area, for instance, is not easy. I've got good King Henry, I think it's Korean celery, sorrel. I need to get the non-flowering sorrel, and just an obscene amount of onions. But overall, it's stayed productive. And that's all you can really ask for. With the way the world's going right now, just being able to walk through a beautiful garden is highly preferable to most things. This is the row of currants, these baby currants. They're growing up though. And I'll go over here, back over to this. I haven't been over here yet. This is the pollinator garden, rock garden. It's pretty much brand new, but things are starting to get established. Yeah, this flowering sedum plant, I'm not even sure what it is. Has done really well. I'm going to propagate the shit out of that. Plant that everywhere. It's got really beautiful pink flowers. The ice plant, though, is definitely the baller of this garden. This has been a tough space to develop because I think there's a severe lack of nutrients. I've added a lot of nutrient, but this spot was burnt multiple times, and before I bought this property, I think there was only Russian thistle growing. But in this back row, a lot of the plants have yellow leaves, and I don't think it's overwatering. It's good drainage. I think I've got some type of nutrient problem. And I've got it on drip, so I don't think it's lack of water. The California fuchsia here is not bothered at all, which is kind of interesting. But if you go right over to the Agastache Cana, those leaves have been yellow pretty much the whole summer. So I'm not quite sure. But overall, still productive. These black gojis are doing pretty good. Finally got this area planted out. This is going to be grapes. Got a columnar oak here that I'm trying to save. Might plant that someplace else. Got some Chester blackberries. Lavender, because we really dig lavender. Got a couple quince trees. Got some Asian pears. This area is a good example of why you should keep gardens simple. And that might seem impossible with a permaculture system, but it's really not. You can really simplify the system. This whole area, I tried to do way too much. I tried to add 20 different species. I'm not really sure why. But in due time, the best species are the ones that shine, and you just stop fighting against the grain. This calendula is doing great next to the raspberries. Elecampana's doing great in the shade of the pear. I've had a lot of raspberries die over here because this wasn't getting irrigated properly. I think that's why. As soon as I started irrigating this, raspberries shot up like crazy. Got some thimbleberry. But yeah, I'm learning. This has been I still haven't found out how to kill the lamb's ear, which is awesome, because lamb's ear is awesome for this climate. Yeah, this whole area also kind of complicated. I'm trying to simplify it. Need to mulch it. So I'm about done rambling. This has been the late season garden tour in Cedarville. It's been a trying year, but we're getting through it. I somehow got coronavirus and my wife didn't, which is hilarious. But overall, it's been a decent year. I just kicked it in my backyard when I had coronavirus and ate calendula and elecampane and just hung out, and that was fine after 4 days. Fine-ish. So I'll end this video by quickly going into the annual garden that's pretty hammered at this point. We've had some sub 40 nights, but this all started out as annuals, but it's slowly turning into a mixed system. There's a lot of perennials in here, actually. My wife's killed it in this area. Got the variegated garden sage. Marigolds, pretty much a no-brainer in this climate. And this is my project for next year. Staring me right in the face. I'm going to need a shit ton of manure. I also might just put animals here. I'm thinking it's hard to decide whether I want to turn this into a greenhouse, which is kind of the plan, but could also put some animals here. I could plant the edges and just have animals in the middle, like a chicken run or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. This wild plum is really pretty, really old tree. anyways, this has been a long, meandering garden tour. But I hope you all get the point. I hope you all have a wonderful fall. Peace out.